Well, the stage is all set for a special intensive revision of electoral rolls in New Delhi. The capital is all set for this process to get underway. Now, this is the same process that got controversial in the state of Bihar, where elections are going to take place after 2 months. And this has also been a political flashpoint between the opposition and the ruling party, with the spotlight on the Election Commission of India. Why is the SIR important? SIR, the Special Intensive Revision of Electoral Rolls, is specifically important because the ECI says that it increases transparency, accuracy, and credibility of the electoral rolls, which is the life and soul of, of our democracy. But more importantly, what does the opposition say? The opposition says that the SIR process, in some ways, has deprived a large section of marginalized voters from their voting rights. SIR is the process where house to house survey is conducted by booth level officers of the Election Commission of India to determine who is a voter of the country, an eligible voter of the country, and who is not. Now, the same process that happened in Bihar a month ago is going to happen in Delhi, is what we understand. This announcement has been made by the Delhi CEO himself. It was announced on social media, where he said that preparations for this massive exercise have already begun. In fact, the Election Commission has done two things. It has already met with state CEOs to understand the existing electoral rolls. It has also asked them their reviews, their feedback on how this process needs to be done. It has also put out two things on its website. One, an updated 2002 electoral list. And the second thing is the mapping of electoral constituencies in New Delhi. So what does a registered voter in Delhi need to do now? A voter who's registered in Delhi, there are 1.56 crore registered voters in Delhi. They have to check if their name appears in the 2002 electoral list or not. Remember that all of them have to just give an enumeration form and not really identity or ID card or anything of that sort. They have to give an enumeration form, is what we understand. And they have to check if their name appears in the 2002 list. If it doesn't, they have to check for their parents. And if their parents appears, they have to give an extract of the voter list with the names of their parents in it. And also, if their name is not part of this, they will have to provide one of the 12 identity cards which have been approved by the Election Commission of India. That is what we think is going to happen. But remember, the rules are not very clear. The rules are going to come out in some days from now. There's also a speculation that a nationwide SIR could also be rolled out by the Election Commission of India. Whether that process is going to be staggered or it's going to happen in all states simultaneously remains to be seen. And talking about some dates, the last time a special intensive revision of electoral rules happened in New Delhi, the capital of India, was in 2008. What happened just a few months ago, the beginning of 2005, was an SSR, which is a special summary revision of electoral rules, which usually takes place before assembly elections. 2005 was also when Delhi saw assembly polls in which the BJP came to power after 30 long years. So there is a lot that the registered voter in Delhi needs to do to just, first of all, check if his or her name is part of the 2002 list or not, and then follow the process that the EC recommends. More importantly, we'll have to wait and see how the SIR hearing goes on in the Supreme Court. Remember, October 7th is when the final set of arguments are going to be presented. The SE has taken a very nuanced rational view of the SIR exercise. It has not really stayed the exercise, but it has also warned the Election Commission of India to ensure that the process is inclusive and that no eligible voter is kept out of the process. In fact, it has also asked for the inclusion of Aadhaar as one of the eligible documents for identity. Remember that the ECI has always said that the Aadhaar card is not your identity symbol. It is something that, it's not something that shows you that you're a citizen of the country. It just is proof of your identity. But we'll have to wait and see what kind of hearing takes place on the 7th of August and 7th of October, and what really comes out from that, and if that is going to set the benchmark for the entire SIR exercise to take place in the country. Also, the ECI has come up with data that says that of the 7.9 crore voters of Bihar, the SIR exercise led to some reduction of voters, ensuring that only eligible voters are part of the electoral list. And now the number of eligible voters is 7.21. Of course, this has also raised objections, with the opposition saying that many eligible voters have been now kept out of the electoral list in the poll-bound state. Now, more importantly, while the ECI is doing what it's supposed to do and the Supreme Court is hearing the case, the more important thing is when an exercise like this takes place in the capital of India, what kind of discourse will that lead to? And more importantly, what kind of discourse will it have on the existing narratives of infiltration, immigration, migration, and more importantly, demographic change? And will there be an impact on the way voters of Delhi look at election commission's work or electoral democracy in India? That remains to be seen. But yes, there are some announcements that are expected from the ECI in the coming days, specifically with regard to a nationwide SIR, and if that process is going to take place in a staggered way or simultaneously in all states or not.